Amanda here from createyourfuture.co. So today I have Ava joining me. Hey, Ava. Hey guys, we have an exciting video, how to manifest a date on a timeline. Yeah, Valentine's Day is coming. And guys, you know what? You can manifest your dates. You can manifest anything you want for Valentine's Day. So yeah, this is an exciting video. It's for anyone that wants to manifest anything on a time crunch, manifest a date, or you just want to like create what's going to happen for Valentine's Day, because I think it's time to start thinking about that. So you can use this video as a catalog if we give you any ideas of what you want to create for your special day. So yeah, before we dive into it, guys, Ava's having a 50% off sale on her coaching. She's absolutely amazing. Definitely check out the link in the description below. And guys, if you don't already know, not sure if you do, but for our new subscribers, we do have a free course, how to find your blocks to manifest anything fast. It's a free course that I've made. You can definitely check it out. Link in the description. It's amazing. By getting that course, you also go on our mailing list and you'll be the first one to know of any sales that we have. And guys, we give out free intentions in those emails. So definitely check it out. Yeah, we send out emails like every second day with a bunch of intentions to help you. So all from your favorite coaches, right? So yeah, anyways, we got a success story. I can't wait. Let's dive right in.
Yeah, so I'm excited to share this. I have a personal success story about manifesting a Valentine's Day date, and it's on a time crunch because Valentine's Day is always on the 14th. So, there's a timeline that the date has to fall into place. So basically what I did was, this was kind of like a fun manifestation to test out the law and everything. And I had decided that I wanted to go on a date for Valentine's Day. So I was doing all the fun things. I was imagining the dress I was going to wear, like buying some new makeup and stuff. And it's funny, I ended up finding, so the dress I was visualizing was like this black mini dress with this kind of like low neck. And I ended up finding one online. So I bought it and I just kept, intending and affirming that I was going on a date for Valentine's Day. And as the time was going by, I hadn't been asked yet. And, those thoughts would pop into my head that, oh, well, I haven't been asked on a date yet. But I was like, no, I'm going on a date for Valentine's Day. Well, Valentine's Day shows up and I was like, if I don't go on a date, like it's going to be fine. I'm going to be okay. And so I decided to go to the mall that day and, treat myself and have fun. And I ended up seeing this guy that I had known before. I haven't seen him in a few years. And he ended up asking me if I wanted to go on a date. And so I said yes. And then he also happened to be a manager at a store that I shopped at. And so he told me to come in and buy whatever I wanted. And he would like bring it to me on the date. And one of my affirmations at the time was I'm treated like a queen. So yeah, we went on the date and everything was good. You just don't want to pay attention to the time when manifesting on a time crunch, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to like be constantly looking and worrying if it's going to happen on time. You want to start, just basically saying this is when it's going to happen. And also I think, I wouldn't, put everything in, to like, I wouldn't I wouldn't make it that big of a deal is really what I'm trying to say. Cause like, for instance, let's say Valentine's Day falls on a Tuesday, right? And, for instance, when I was dating Andrew, he worked all weekend, and he wasn't really, always up to like doing some extravagant thing during the weekday. So, I was intending, for instance, with him that we would go out for dinner and have this like great romantic night. But on that weekday that the Valentine's was on, he just brought me like some flowers and we just had dinner at home that I cooked like when we were dating at my place, right? And I was like, darn, you know what, it didn't happen. But I was like, no, it could still happen. And then on the weekend he surprised me with this great big dinner and and date and all that. So it's like, even if the date comes and goes, like, don't let go of it, because it can still happen. It doesn't have to happen on the day, right? But again, you make the choice of whether or not it's going to happen that day. So I guess really what I'm saying is, don't constantly check the 3D reality looking and going, oh, it hasn't happened yet. It's like, no, every time you think about it, you got to be on your mental diet and be like, no, it's going to happen. And it is going to happen on Valentine's Day. You know, and if it doesn't happen on Valentine's Day, don't even give up there. Be like, no, it's going to happen this weekend. Like, it's got to, you know what I mean? Right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, because if you already have it, like, you don't need to be checking the time. Like, you already have it. So someone who already has it, it's not about checking the time. Like, it hasn't shown up yet. Like, when those thoughts pop up, just treat it, you know, it's just a passing thought. It's just passing through. So just, you know, keep affirming for what it is that you're intending. You don't have to give it meaning and start spiraling, thinking about, oh, it hasn't happened yet. You're making a decision that this is what you want, this is what you have, and that's it. And that's what you intend for.
Exactly. And, you know, so really what you want to do, and we were talking about this before we did the video, is Ava brought up, this was very important, is get clear on what you want. Like, what is it going to see? What are you going to hear? What are you going to feel? What's going to happen? Who is it going to be with? What do they think about you? What are they planning? You know, what are your assumptions about them? You know, and you really want to, like, obviously in my story, right? Like, my assumptions were, is it's a weeknight. Andrew's not going to want to, you know, go out for dinner. So, and that obviously is what happened, right? So those are my assumptions of him, right? So take a look at what your assumptions are, you know, get clear on that. I think that's incredibly important, right?
Yeah, because so like with my success story I just told, it was funny. Like, I thought of the specific dress I wanted and I had kind of like looked for it, and I wasn't really finding it. It was like the dress I had visualized me wearing on the date. And then all of a sudden I came across this website online that had the exact dress, and it was really funny. I just knew, like, I'm like, oh my God, this is the dress that I had imagined wearing. And I don't know, it's just funny how everything just falls into place. Like, you can make a decision, and that's like that's what you're gonna have. You don't have to waver or settle for less.
Exactly. And you know, and I think another thing that's so important about not coming from lack and checking the 3D is having faith, unwavering faith and trust that your thoughts create. You know, that's really where it comes down to. It's like basically saying, look, I intend that this is going to happen, and I believe it's going to happen because I know my thoughts create, you know. And when you have that faith in yourself and your thoughts creating, you have no need to check the 3D. You know, why check the 3D? You know it's going to happen. And when you do check the 3D and you don't see it, when you have that unwavering faith, your thought is, oh no, it's going to happen. It is coming. Like, I know it's coming, rather than, oh, it's not here yet, right? So if you say, Amanda, how do I know if I've got unwavering faith in my intentions and that the fact that my thoughts create? Well, the answer is, when you check the 3D and you don't see what you're manifesting there, what is your thought? Are you disappointed saying it's not happening? Or are you going, no, you know what? It is going to happen any minute now. It's happening now, right? You know, and that's so incredibly important. One thing I suggest for everybody to build your faith in, you know, your power of creating, is do the little list of manifestations. Do the little list every single day. And every day, write down, you know, what you want to manifest that day. Keep that list running. And then when you get one of your things, cross it out. Oh, I wanted to see a bluebird. Boom, saw that. Oh, I wanted someone to give me a red rose. Boom, got that. Keep that list running. Your coworker wearing a purple sweater, blah, 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 you know, and, you know, keep that list going. And then notice what energy you had and what your thoughts were around all those things that have shown up. So you learn yourself what you need to do in here to make things happen out there. Okay. Because it's a very personal thing, right? You know, obviously mental diet and your self-talk, right? You know, me, I know I can put 80% of my mental diet towards something and get it, right? I know it doesn't have to be perfect 100%, but I do know that enough thoughts have to be in line with what I want and not contrary to get it, right? So, you know, and when you start to learn how to use your magic wand, you'll have a lot more faith and trust in it, right?
Yeah. And yeah, like what you were saying about not wavering. Yeah. Like every time those thoughts came up, I just, moved my thoughts to no, like it is happening. Like this is what I'm going to have. And I think it was in your video the other day with Megan. You guys were talking, you mentioned something about testing, and testing, like, yeah, it isn't like the best word, but I guess it's kind of how you can think of it. It's like when these circumstances show up or something is showing up that isn't favorable or isn't what you want, like you can't feed into that. You can't take that as like the end. Like that is what it's showing you, like what state you're still in. If you just are like, oh, well, it's not here yet, and then you just give into that. No, like you have to keep persisting and keep persisting in what it is that you want.
Well, this is exactly it, right? Like it just takes persistence. That video with Megan was hilarious. I forgot I was recording a video. We've been friends for so many years. She's so funny to talk to. I tell you. But it's about having faith, right? And the faith, every once in a while, when I'm going, oh my God, nothing's happening. I'm like, okay, Amanda, stop. I'm like, everyone is you pushed out, your thoughts create, and it's funny, and I'll use things like even bad manifestations to prove like that it works. So yesterday I had the guy over here fixing my fridge because, well, I broke my fridge mentally, obviously. Anyway, I manifested a broken fridge. So he's over fixing my fridge. And I'm telling him about the time that the fridge had a water leak. I'm not kidding you. 5 minutes later, he's like, there's water leaking from your fridge. You need to replace the hose. I'm like, damn it. So anyways, as he's fixing the fridge too, I'm like, I hope that fan doesn't fall off again. I hope he glues it enough. I'm like, he's probably not going to glue it enough. Sure enough, you know what? I went to Home Depot to get the hose, to fix the hose. And I'm back behind the fridge and I hear the fan clunk, 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 falling off. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm like, the fan fell off again. So, okay, it's working, obviously. My thoughts are obviously manifesting. So then fine. So I called him this morning and I'm like, okay, look, you know what? I think the fridge is broken again. I'm like, I know it's broken again. So he's like, okay, I'll come back out. He's like, I'll come between 1:30 and 3. And I thought to myself, no, I want this fixed as soon as possible. Like there's no, like the fridge doesn't have a fan. It's going to get hot. Right. So then he phones me back 2 minutes later and he's like, I'll be there between 11 and 1. And I was like, okay. So we're constantly creating, but to use everything in your reality, become present and aware of it. Remember, it's empty and meaningless. Like it's just like, whether it's good or bad, you've created it. Right. And to just stop and to look. Now, you know what? You can create bad things and you can cry about it. It's no problem. In fact, my eyes are a bit puffy because I've been crying all weekend, and not over like my life. I was in a self-help course and, with people and long story. Anyways, the humanity and where people were struggling and suffering, it really touched me. And I've been bawling like a baby, but it's okay. It's okay. I was upset about the fridge. I still am getting it fixed, right? In the moment I reacted but I still pulled it together and got it. So never think that anything you could do could wreck your manifestation either, because it can't, it can't. Of course, I owed the poor repair guy a huge apology for my reaction yesterday for the leaking fridge, even though I'm the one that created it. But, at the end of the day, it's like you can always turn things around again, right? And you don't need to be in the best mood to do it. You just need to control your thoughts. There's been many times that I've been crying about one thing and manifesting good things in another area of my life, right? So, you can still manifest what you want regardless of your mood. You just have to have positive thoughts about the thing you're manifesting.
Yeah. And, the success story I told with the date, that for me was like a smaller manifestation that I was doing to test out the law. And I'm glad I did it because it really just like helped teach me some lessons, like I really didn't waver. And when, the day came on Valentine's Day, I was like, you know what, if it doesn't happen today, I still have the date, or, I'm still going to go out and have a good day today. I'm still going to go out and have fun. And then I decided I wanted to go to the mall. I just had this feeling like I wanted to go to the mall. And there was that old friend that ended up asking me on the date. Like, we crossed paths with each other. And that's another thing, like our manifestations, they're not going to hide from us. Like, we're not going to have to go out and try to find them. Like, they're going to show up. Like, we're going to be moved to do something. Someone else is going to be moved to do something. You know, you don't have to be worried about not seeing them. Like, it's gonna show up.
Mm-hmm. The whole world is like bubbling and conspiring to rise up to what you're expecting to see, hear, and experience, right? And everybody, okay, is out there playing their part. So an example is like the hose that was leaking from my fridge was the hose that goes from like the wall to the back of the fridge, because it's like a water and ice machine on the fridge. And because I had the talking about and thinking about a leaking fridge, all of a sudden Buddy goes and turns like the thing to tighten it, even though it didn't need to be tightened, and he wrecked the washer. So the universe was like, oh, you want a leaking fridge? Your wish is my command. Psh. Okay, now let me just say this right now. I intend that he fixes that fan for good this time, and the fridge never leaks water ever again, and the fridge works perfectly for the next 20 years, okay? And I intend to feel that, to see that, and to experience that in my reality. So I'm not going to talk about that fridge anymore. Again, you've got to clean these things up. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know, and everything's conspiring. Like, it's your quantum bubble, and this is based in quantum physics, and everything is conspiring to make what you're assuming to show up. Everyone and everything is you pushed out, and it's going to work exactly the way that you expect it to. So yeah, I think that's amazing. I think there's a lot of great tidbits for people in here. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm intending that people can take something positive from this and apply it and see results from it.
Exactly. Yeah. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining our video. We will see you in the next video. And remember, each and every one of you guys is perfect, whole, and complete. And yeah, you know, one thing I just want to say as well is, you know, I come on, my eyes are puffy. I've had a rough weekend, you know, but one thing, you know, I learned this weekend was, you know, as human beings, we want to look good. We do a lot of things in our lives just to look good, or, you know, sometimes we don't want to come on camera unless we look good. Well, because of my training weekend, I made a choice this weekend to come on here looking like I've been crying all weekend, especially if you have HD. You're probably looking at me going, Amanda, you look terrible. I made the choice to come on here looking like I did because, you know what? Getting this message out to you guys was way more important than how I look. If I can give one person hope, inspiration, and, you know, and just touch somebody today to help them change their lives, it makes a lot more of a difference to me than worrying about how I look. So I love all of you guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye.